There's no way everybody forgot Summer Mirror came out, right? Like, if you go to join multiplayer right now and you go into the summer event, there's no lobbies. I haven't seen any talks about her or anything else pertaining to this unit. It's like she didn't even release in Grand Summoners Global, which is so strange to me because she is a very strong and capable character. Of course, it's probably because we just had Dan and more than likely everybody went crazy spending all their crystals to try to get Okarun or whoever else, which unfortunately means most other characters that come out that are Grand Summoner specific kind of suffer because you don't get to see those characters too much and they're not really going to be in the spotlight, especially a character that's old like Summer Mirror. She was actually the first live 2D character in Grand Summoners JP. Bet some of y'all didn't even know that. So she's a pretty big deal whenever she came out then, but not really anymore considering we've already had a lot of live 2D arts. Granted, they were tied behind paywalls, but still, we had them. Also, before we get any further in this video, huge shout out to Shinobu for allowing me to show off his Summer Mirror. Summer Mirror's entire gimmick is very simple. She's a ratio character, but her ratio passive is based on accuracy instead of some kind of stat, and hers is actually extremely impactful. It's whatever the percentage is times 2%, and that's the damage buff you get. So if you have 30% accuracy up, you get 60% damage. 100% accuracy, you get 200% damage. See what I'm saying? So you're able to get her with tons of damage ups just by utilizing stuff like Karks or Nimios, or even her Chu weapon gives her accuracy passively. Not to mention she has a stackable DR. You heard me right, not DR down, stackable DR. Now I don't mean that you could just keep stacking 40%, 40%, 40%, you know. I mean that she has a DR that's able to stack with Beta, Shiro Emiya, any of these other characters that give just a universal DR buff, she's able to stack with them because her DR buff is type specific. She is very much a mono water character, and if you use her outside of mono water, just gonna let you know now, she's kind of a little bit whack unless you're using her as an accuracy attacker and nothing else, and even then I would rather just use someone else like Saito Hajime. In mono water though, she offers a lot because you have all this additional accuracy, you have a DR buff that's able to work with all the other DR buffs that mono water is able to apply to itself, and she's coming out here with crazy DPS. I know I've just been yapping and you guys have probably been seeing in the background already, but the damage is there. That's not anyone else doing this. That is specifically her doing all of this damage. Poor Velzar doesn't even know what's going on anymore, getting hit with 2 hydrogen bombs at the same time, you know, one being Ultimate Paladin Roy, the other one being Summer Mirror. I didn't even check the detail screen because I didn't want to disrespect him more. Next fight though, we did check the detail screen because we decided to, you know, maybe even the odds a little bit. We fought Ultimate Paladin Roy. And Ultimate Paladin Roy is a boss that actually has evasion because he's the only boss who can really fight at the moment in global right now at this current time that has evasion. Some of you may be like, OP, fight the chapter 30 boss. Chapter 30 has water resistant. Summer Mirror will be hitting for ones and you can't make her hit any harder in that fight. We have to go against Ultimate Paladin Roy to even try to show off her accuracy. Of course, even if the boss doesn't have evasion, she's still going to be great because that ratio passive, right? But in this fight right here, still Ultimate Paladin Roy really couldn't keep up, and even whenever we broke Ultimate Paladin Roy, we just instantly push him all the way down to his threshold with Summer Mirror. Now her damage is really good. Her DR pretty much makes it to where we're invincible, but as you see here, this is one of the big issues with Summer Mirror. We're using Chloe in this fight. Chloe is a fire character, which means she doesn't benefit from Summer Mirror's DR. Any kind of rainbow team, she's kind of useless, and you're better off just using someone else that may be doing a bit more, which unfortunately also means that she's kind of bad for new players. If you're a new player and you got Summer Mirror because you just thought she looked cool, or you know, you were gooning out, whatever the case may be, you know, I ain't judging. The only water character you can really run her with at the moment is Momo, and that's it. You know, so if you got her, you're gonna be waiting for a bit to get her to full power on a mono water setup. If we look at the detail screen though, after we fought Ultimate Paladin Roy, we dealt 15 million damage with Summer Mirror. The next fight we took her up against was Uga, and by the way, we failed this fight like 3 or 4 times in a row because we were doing too much damage too quickly. I guess it's good problems to have, right? Even Uga, though, kind of didn't really stand a chance against all of her damage, and like I said, I wish that we could show her off in like some type of mines event or raid or something like that would have like a lot of evasion, so we could use her for what she's, you know, meant for. Because you got to consider, this character doesn't have built-in defense ignore, she doesn't have built-in crit chance, nothing like that. She is just going off of her raw damage ups from all of the different accuracy buffs we're giving her. If this character had anything else in the kit that was a bit more supporting, like arch generation, a barrier would have been huge for her because she doesn't provide a berry, even though she provides a pretty good amount of DR, she would definitely be one of the better units for mono water. She's still great. Like, she's an A tier character. Some people may be thinking like, oh, she's not going to be that good because I haven't really said she's like a must summon. You need to go get her right now. But no, she's definitely like an A tier character. She's a solid option for mono water. Very good character just to throw on the team, and you're going to get a lot of use out of her. I would say how we talked about Momo being a very good flex unit. You know, you put her on the team, she's going to be great as that final unit for any mono water comp. I kind of feel the same way with Samira. You throw her on the team, she's giving you all that additional DR. She also has a built-in cleanse as well with her art, so that helps out a bit. And she's gonna be hitting hard, so you know, it's like in most cases you could throw her on the team and you're not really losing anything for her being there. It just sucks that this character isn't a bit more universal and a bit better in other team comps. The last thing we showed her off against was the Shrine of Diamond Dust. This is the Extreme Crest Palace for Wednesday. This boss does have a lot of evasion. However, you're supposed to do this with a character that has one hit, so you can kill him before he gets to one of his thresholds. Samira has multiple hits. Even with her hitting multiple times, she almost insta-killed the bird. If she had a singular hit, she would probably be the best character for this specific fight. And unfortunately, we didn't get a 4+. That would be cool if we got a 4+ in this, but we didn't. I mean, I already had a 4+ on Finn, but still, you know, it'd be cool if it would have dropped. I can give some closing thoughts, though, on Samira. She's a great water attacker that is offering some defense options to your team while also giving you a bit of a cleanse. She also hits relatively hard, and considering she doesn't have any innate defense ignore or crit chance, of course you can provide that to her because she is on mono water, so you have options like Hoka and stuff. So in most cases, she's going to be hitting really hard. However, we're comparing a nuke to like hydrogen bombs that are in the game. It's not like Samira is bad by any means. It's just the other options we have now in Grad Summoners Global definitely outshine her. And if you're someone who is a bit more careful with your crystals, you really only try to summon on units that are going to benefit you in more ways than one, you're not going to be turning to summon Mira every single time unless you're just a Mira fan. Of course, if you're into mono water, she's a great addition, but she's not needed. She's just another solid unit for you to have in your back pocket. But in most cases, she's probably just going to be collecting dust in your box. Thank you all for watching this video. It's BearOP. If you liked it, hey, hit the like button. I don't ask for it much, but it definitely helps out. Also, I want to say too, we hit 60,000 subs recently, so huge shout out to all y'all. And thank you again to Shinobu for allowing me to record this video. Last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.